at Dr. Keeps Appleway. Hey at Dr. Keeps Appleway. Hope you're having an awesome day. Enjoy the race vibes. Blowing Star. Feds is off to a blistering start, taking the lead right out of the gate. Deplorably, Apple isn't far behind, maintaining some intense pressure. Hargoat 3 is holding steady in third, but they'll need to find some speed soon if they want to catch up. It's shaping up to be a thrilling race already. Roadhog 29389 has successfully moved into P3 after a clean overtaking maneuver on Hug 3. Kokubinanity from No Name Racing has gained ground, now sitting in 6th after overtaking Cydric. Meanwhile, Perpetuum has made a notable advancement to P9, having passed EU's John Seven. The race dynamics are shifting as these cars jockey for position. Cydric and Okayoki 3 are currently locked in a close battle for 7th position. Sabine 27 has made a move, advancing to 10th place by overtaking EU's John 7. Now, Sabine 27, who drives a Ferrari FX6K, is engaged in another duel, this time with EU's John 7, who is piloting a Fittipaldi F7, as they vie for that 10th spot. Winzerius Guy has successfully moved up to power, executing a clean overtake on Huggard 3 from Team Nufgum Kings. Meanwhile, Decadave in the rough Turda 3 is currently locked in a tight battle with Jizik, who is piloting the Renault Sport RS1 for P25. The competition is intense as both drivers are pushing their limits to gain an advantage. Feds said. At Dr. Keeps Appleway, gotta say hey Amy. Hey Feds. Thanks for joining. Hope you're enjoying the race. Racing car dashing away. Haha, classic potato. Just make sure to do it in style. We can't have you flipping out without some flair. French freeze automobile dashing. Away, let's see how that works out for you. Someone said, "Hey Amy, who am I?" You're the legendary viewer who keeps the energy alive in this stream. Or maybe just someone browsing the chat winking face. Deplorably Apple and Roadhog 29389 are currently locked in a tight battle for P2, with both cars showing impressive speed as they navigate the corners. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 in the Ferrari F8K is dueling with Bjorkrenshaw in the McLaren Pone GTR for Palladium. Sabine 27 is making aggressive maneuvers, trying to close the gap as they approach the next straight. The dynamics between these pairs are shifting rapidly as we move deeper into the race. Someone said, "Hey Amy, who is Dr. Keeps app away?" Oh, that sounds like a fun username. I have no idea who they are, but if they have Apple in their name, they might just be keeping all the juicy secrets away from us. Green apple grinning face, with smiling eyes. Use John 7 in the Fittipaldi F7 is currently holding off Sabine 27 in the Ferrari FXXK for the 10th position. It's a close fight as they navigate through the corners, with Use John 7 maintaining a slight edge. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 is now also engaged in the battle for 11th place with Bjorkrenshaw, who's driving a McLaren Pone GTR. The two are vying for position just behind, creating an intense dynamic in the midfield. Race officials are monitoring these duels closely as they could lead to significant changes in the leaderboard. Corsa Boris, in the Pagani Zonda R, is currently battling N29 Kia in the Fittipaldi F7 for 21st position. Both cars are closely matched, with Boris slightly ahead entering the final sector. N29 Kia is looking for an opportunity to overtake as they approach the straight. In the battle for 26th position, Jazik in the Renault Sport RS1 is under pressure from Maya and Sirarenbot, both driving the Aston Martin 177 Baleine. Jazik is holding a defensive line while Maya and Sirarenbot are coordinating their efforts to gain an advantage. The pace is intense between them as they navigate through the corners. Sabine 27 has successfully moved into 10th place, performing a clean overtake on Yusuan 7. The maneuver was executed on the inside line, showcasing sharp cornering skills. The gap between the two drivers is now increasing as Sabine 27 establishes a buffer. Here Petuum in the Porsche 935 is holding a tight line as they approach the first corner, attempting to fend off Sabine 27 in the Ferrari FXXK, who is applying pressure and looking for an inside line. As they exit the corner, Sabine 27 makes a bold move, edging ahead of Pierre Petuum, taking P9 with a sick overtake. Meanwhile, in the battle for P22, N29TA from also No Name Racing is locked in a duel with Amundsen. N29 Kia maintains a defensive position, while Amundsen tries to find an opportunity to slip by. They approach a sharp turn, and it looks like N29 Kia holds their ground, keeping Amundsen at bay for now. The tension in both battles continues to build as the race progresses. Bioconchar has successfully gained a position, now in P11 after executing a clean overtake on John 7. Meanwhile, Miss Stonedrix has also advanced to P15, overtaking Newcomb Bockham with precision. In the battle for P19, Datsapa in the BMW 134 Judd Vate is closely contesting, with Boris O'Boris driving the Pagani Zonda R. The tension is palpable as they vie for position. Pierre Petuum in the Porsche 935 is currently defending the 10th position against Bioconchar, who is aggressively pursuing in the McLaren Pone GTR. Pierre Petuum holds a slight edge as they exit the tight corner, but Bioconchar is right on his tail, looking for an opening. As they approach the long straight, Bioconchar makes a move to the inside. They're side by side now, heading down the straight. Here Petuum tries to maintain his line, but Bioconchar has the speed advantage. Bioconchar completes the overtake and moves into Pen, while Pierre Petuum drops to P11. The battle continues as they head into the next turn. John 7 has made an impressive move, overtaking 5 cars and advancing to position 7. Following closely, Duff Dad also executed a solid maneuver, overtaking 5 cars to secure position 8. Meanwhile, Newcomb Bockham from Team Death Robots is making waves as well, moving up 5 spots to claim position 11. The competition is heating up with these strategic advances. OK3 is currently gaining on Bioconchar, reducing the gap by 15.1 seconds. Miss Stonedrix is also making progress, catching up to Sabine 27 with a decreased gap of 4 seconds. Soulflash 21, and Amy are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Captain Potato by 21.7 seconds. Meanwhile, we have a battle for position between two AI cars, with one attempting an overtake on the inside line, but being blocked off effectively. The top three remain stable as they navigate a tight turn, while Soulflash21 and Amy continue to push forward, gaining valuable time. The race dynamics are shifting as the field starts to spread out slightly. Nukem from Team Death Robots has just made an impressive move, overtaking 7 cars to secure 3rd place. Following closely, Kazashok has also surged forward, overtaking 7 cars to claim 4th position. Jazz72 is not far behind either, executing a solid maneuver to overtake 6 cars and take 6th place. The race dynamics are intensifying as these drivers make significant gains in the standings. Hey someone! Welcome back to the racetrack. Ready for some high-speed AI action? Buckle up. Racing car, dashing away. Decadav is making a strong move, reducing the gap to just 8 by 24.6 seconds. Miss Stonedrex has gained ground, now in P20 after successfully overtaking N29 KA. Meanwhile, N29 KA has also made an advancement, moving up to P21 by overtaking Boris Stoll. The dynamic is shifting as positions continue to change. Nukem is making significant progress, reducing the gap to deplorably by 2.9 seconds. Dautsupa has successfully moved into 5th position after overtake Jasak72. Meanwhile, Kokubininti and Wazirius Guy are engaged in a close battle for 13th place, both drivers pushing hard to gain the advantage. Sabina27 is now in P13 after a successful overtake on Nukembukum. Duff Dad has made progress, moving up to 17 by overtaking Miss Stonedrex. Git. Meanwhile, Miss Stonedrex has retaliated, and is now in P18 after passing Kazashuk from Team S1 State Tuam. The positions are shifting as the race continues. Dautsupa is maintaining a tight line in the BMW 134 Judd Vate, while Hugudfree in the Fittipaldi F7 is applying consistent pressure from behind. As they approach the first chicane, Dautsupa defends the inside line. Hugud3 attempts an overtake on the outside, but is unable to complete it. They exit the chicane almost side by side, with Datsupa just ahead. On the straight now, Hugger 3 is gaining ground, drafting off Datsupa. As they enter the next corner, Hoku 3 makes a late braking move. Overtaking maneuver initiated. Let's see if it pays off. Datsupa has encountered issues and dropped back to P13, losing 10 positions. Hugger 3 has successfully overtaken Sidrek from Team Live for Speed, moving up to P3. Sidrek, however, has managed to overtake Perpetuum, solidifying their position at Fawa. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for better placements. Roadhog 29,389. In the Fittipaldi F7 is currently holding P11. But Sabini 27 in the Ferrari FXXK is right on their tail, applying pressure. As they approach the hairpin, Sabini 27 looks to the inside, attempting an overtake. Roadhog 29,389 defends well, maintaining position as they exit the corner side by side. They are now heading into the straightaway, and Sabina 27 is gaining speed. This battle for P11 is intensifying as they approach the next turn. Hugger 3 from Team Nafgum Kings is steadily gaining on Deplorable Lepo, reducing the gap to 2.2 seconds. The pace is picking up as they approach the next corner. Meanwhile, we see a battle for position between two midfield cars, with one attempting an overtake on the outside line. This could be critical as they head into the next straight. The dynamics are shifting consistently as drivers adjust their strategies in response to each other's movements. Perpetuum in the Porsche 935 is currently applying pressure on Buchenshaw, who is behind the wheel of the McLaren Pone GTR as they race for 5th place. Perpetuum is closing the gap going into the hairpin turn, utilizing the Porsche's agility to maneuver. Buchenshaw defends the inside line, but Perpetuum makes a late dive on the brakes. They are side by side exiting the corner. It's a neck-and-neck situation as they head down the straight. Perpetuum edges ahead slightly, but Buchenshaw fights back, maintaining speed and positioning for the next curve. The battle continues fierce as they approach the next turn. One serious guy from Team No Name Racing is currently defending his position in 9th place against Okayoki 3, who is driving the Ferrari FX66K. The Fittipaldi F7 of Wazirius Guy is holding strong as they approach a tight corner. Okayoki 3 is looking for an opportunity to overtake, weaving slightly to find a line. As they exit the corner, Okayoki 3 makes a quick move on the inside, but Wazirius Guy maintains his line and stays ahead for now. The battle for 9th remains intense as they head down the straight. Hypercars and EU's John 7 are locked in a close battle for 6th position. Hypercars in the Porsche 911 is holding a slight advantage as they approach the first turn. But EU's John 7 in the Fittipaldi F7 is right on his tail, looking for an opportunity to overtake. As they exit the turn, EU's John 7 makes a bold move on the inside, but Hypercars defends well, keeping the line tight. They are now heading into the straight, and EU's John 7 is drafting behind, trying to gain speed for a potential pass. Now, entering the next corner, EU's John 7 pulls alongside Hypercars. It's side by side and EU's John 7 has the momentum. They both brake late. It's going to be a very close call as they head through the apex. Still side by side coming out of the corner, and EU's John 7 finally edges ahead, moving into 6th. Hypercars will need to regroup and find another opportunity to fight back. Okayoki 3 is now just 25.2 seconds behind Just Jazik, showing strong pace as they close in. Meanwhile, Mistondrex is gaining on Okayoki 3, reducing the gap by 10.40 seconds. Just Jazik is also making a move, cutting down the distance to 7:27 by 2.3 seconds. The dynamics are heating up with these drivers pushing their limits. Boris and Amundsen are engaged in a tight battle for P18. Boris, in the Pagani Zonda R, is closely tailing Amundsen, who is piloting the Fittipaldi F7. As they enter the final turn, Boris attempts an inside move, but Amundsen defends well, maintaining his position. The two cars are now approaching the long straight, where Boris might have an opportunity to overtake with some strategic acceleration. The gap is minimal, and it will be interesting to see if he can make a clean pass before the next corner. car number 3 from Team Racing Potatoes has successfully moved up to P22, overtaking Justjazik in the process. The maneuver was clean, showcasing good timing and precision. No other significant position changes have been noted in the last moments. Huget 3 has successfully moved into P2 after overtaking deplorably Apple. Meanwhile, Uyus John 7 and Koki Bininity are engaged in a close battle for power, with both cars jockeying for position as they navigate through the corners. The tension is rising as they push each other to gain the upper hand. Uyus John 7 has significantly decreased the gap to Huget 3 by 19.3 seconds, showcasing impressive speed. Meanwhile, Cedric has successfully moved up to 6th place, overtaking Waziri Sky from Team No Name Racing. The race remains competitive as positions shift. Pierre Petrun has made significant progress, advancing to 14 after overtaking 5 cars in quick succession. Just behind, Sabina 27 from Team Blast is also on the move, having passed 6 competitors to secure 15. Ohioki 3 is following suit, also overtaking 6 cars and now sits in 16. The competition is intensifying as these drivers push forward in the ranks. Dekadav has significantly decreased the gap to Justjazik, now trailing by 26.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Gatsupa in the BMW 134 Judvate is engaged in a tight contest with Buchenshaw, who is piloting the McLaren Pone GTR, both fighting for 7th position. In addition, Uzjon 7 and Roadhog 29, 389, are locked in a duel for 11th place. Katsushok has successfully moved in a P8, executing a clean overtake on Buchenshaw. Meanwhile, the battle for Palevin is heating up as EU's Jones 7 and Roadhog 29, 389 are closely matched, each vying for position. EU's Jones 7 and Roadhog 29, 389 are currently engaged in a tight battle for 11th place. EU's Jones 7 is holding a slight edge as they approach the final corner, but Roadhog 29,389 is closing the gap quickly on the straight. Overtaking maneuvers are in play. It will be interesting to see if Roadhog 29,389 can execute a successful pass before they reach the next sector. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack is maintaining their positions, with no significant changes among the top 10 at this moment. Datsupa in the BMW 134 Judvate is currently holding off Biocontrol in the McLaren Pone GTR for 7th position. The gap between them is narrow, with Datsupa defending his line effectively. Meanwhile, Biocontrol is not giving up, looking for opportunities to overtake. In the battle for 8th place, Biocontrol has now shifted focus as he's also challenged by Kazushuk in the Pagani Zonda R. This dynamic makes it a tight two-way fight for both positions. Kazushuk is applying pressure on Biocontrol, who is trying to fend him off while also keeping an eye on Datsupa ahead. The race is heating up as these drivers jockey for position in the mid-pack. Dad from Team Live for Speed has made a significant move, jumping up 4 positions to take P13. Salbini 27 has also gained ground, moving into P11, after successfully overtaking Okayoki 3 by 3 spots. However, Okayoki 3 has responded quickly, reclaiming P12 by overtaking Duff Dad once again. The dynamics are shifting rapidly among these drivers. Datsupa in the BMW 134 Judd V8 is currently holding off Biocontrol in the McLaren Pone GTR as they battle for 5th position. Datsupa has been defending well, using the car's agility to maintain a slight edge on the straights. Biocontrol is looking to make a move, closing in during the corners but hasn't found the opportunity to overtake yet. The gap is fluctuating as they head into the final sector, with Biocontrol applying consistent pressure. Hypercars in the Porsche 935 is closely trailing Sabina 27 in the Ferrari FXEK as they contest for 10th place. Both drivers are showing impressive handling as they navigate through the corners, with Perpetuum attempting to find an opening on the inside. Meanwhile, in the battle for 22nd position, Boris in the Pagani Zonda R is locked in a tight duel with Amundsen, who was piloting the Fittipaldi S7. Boris is trying to gain ground on Amundsen, looking for a chance to make a pass as they approach a hairpin turn. The dynamics between both pairs of drivers are intensifying as the race progresses. Veds is off to a blazing start, taking the lead with a clean line through the first corner. Deplorably Apple is hot on his tail though. Poise 3 is holding strong in third, keeping just enough distance to capitalize on any slip-ups ahead. This could get exciting. Duff Dad is now in P9 after a significant gain, overtaking 4 cars in rapid succession. Eus Jongseven has advanced to Power, managing to surpass Wazirius Guy. Meanwhile, Winsiri Sky has also improved his position to 5 by getting around road hop 29, 389. The field is tightening as competitors jockey for position. Boris has advanced to P19 after successfully overtaking Amundsen. Amundsen, representing Team Nufgum Kings, has responded by moving up to P20, passing Dustjazik in the process. Meanwhile, Dustjazik has also gained a position, moving up to P21 after overtaking Sabina 27. The race is showing some competitive action in the midfield. Solflash 21 and Amy have advanced to P26, successfully overtaking both Maya and Sir Ironbot. Their maneuver was clean, showcasing excellent timing as they approached a tight corner. As they exited the turn, they maintained their position while looking ahead for further opportunities to gain more spots. The race continues to unfold as positions shift throughout the field. Captain Potato has significantly closed the gap to Soul Flash 21, reducing it by 7.1 seconds as he moves up in the ranks. Eusjums 7 has successfully overtaken Wazurius Guy, now occupying the 4th position. Meanwhile, the battle for 19th place is heating up between Boris O'Boris in a Pagani Zonda R and Amundsen in a Fittipaldi F7, showcasing some intense racing dynamics. Kadishuk in the Pagani Zonda R is closely trailing Bucrenshaw in the McLaren Punch TTR, as they fight for the 11th position. Kasishuk makes a move on the inside, heading into turn 3, but is unable to complete the overtake, forcing him to back off slightly. Bucrenshaw maintains his line, expertly defending against pressure while accelerating out of the corner. Entering the long straight, Kasishuk is gaining momentum, and is now right on Bucrenshaw's tail. He looks for an opening as they approach turn 4. Kasishuk dives to the inside again. This time, he successfully pulls ahead of Bucrenshaw, taking Pelivan. However, Bucrenshaw is not giving up easily, and is already looking to reclaim the position as they approach the next bend. The battle continues to be intense with just a few car lengths separating them. Deplorablepo and Huggardthree are engaged in a tight battle for second place, with both cars closely following each other. Roadhog 29, 389 has successfully moved up to 6th position, overtaking Cedric in the process. Meanwhile, Bucrenshaw has made significant progress, advancing to 11th place after overtaking Kasishuk. Deplorable Apple has successfully moved into P2, executing a clean overtake on Hugger 3. The maneuver looked well timed as they approached the first corner, utilizing the slipstream effectively. Hugger 3 falls to P3 as the race continues. The distance between the top two positions is narrowing, with Deplorable Apple now setting sights on the leader. Cedric has just executed a clean overtake on EU's John 7, moving up to P4. The competition is heating up for Penn as Jasak 72, in the Pagani Zonda R, and the Okenshaw in the McLaren Pone GTR, are engaged in a tight battle. Hypercars has made an impressive move, overtaking 6 cars, and advancing to P12. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is experiencing difficulties, dropping back 6 positions to P13. Team Sabine 27 is also on the move, successfully overtaking 6 cars to secure 15. Miss Stonedrex has just made a significant move, advancing to position 21 after overtaking Amundsen. However, Amundsen is not letting this setback deter them, as they are rapidly closing the gap to Miss Stonedrex by 12.7 seconds. The dynamics between these two drivers are heating up, with Amundsen determined to regain that position. Decadam has significantly closed the gap to Borisov, reducing it by 32.6 seconds. Decadam's pace is improving, and we can expect a potential overtake if this trend continues. The race dynamics are shifting as he gains on Boris with each lap. Meanwhile, the other competitors are maintaining their positions, but Decadave is clearly making a strategic move. As we continue watching the race, Jasak 72 in the Pagani Zonda R is closely trailing Okenshaw in the McLaren Pone GTR for position 7. They are navigating the turns with precision, with Jasak 72 attempting to close the gap. Jasak 72 makes a decisive move on the inside at the hairpin, executing an overtake, but Okenshaw counters on the exit, reclaiming the position. The two cars are side by side heading into the next straight, showcasing a thrilling duel for Steven. Duff Dad and Wazirius Guy are closely matched in their battle for 15th position. Duff Dad is applying pressure, attempting an inside line at turn 3. But Wazirius Guy holds his ground on the outside. They exit the corner side by side, with Wazirius Guy maintaining slightly better speed on the straight. As they approach turn 5, Duff Dad makes a late braking maneuver, managing to pull ahead briefly before Wazirius Guy counters, sticking to the racing line. The two cars remain within inches of each other, showcasing exceptional driving skill as they navigate through the tight section. It's still neck and neck as they head into the next straight, with Duff Dad inching ahead as they approach the next bend. Crenshaw has successfully moved into 7 after a clean overtake on Jasek 72. Meanwhile, Sabinihu 27 has advanced to Polivan, overtaking Perpuum. The race is getting more competitive as positions shift. Dartsuper in the BMW 134 Judd Vate is holding off Sabina 27 in the Ferrari FX8K as they approach the final sector. Dartsuper maintains a narrow lead, navigating through the tight corners with precision. Sabina 27 is looking for an opportunity to overtake, closely tailing Dartsuper on the straights. As they enter the last few turns, Sabina 27 makes a bold move on the inside, but Dartsuper defends well, retaining his position. The battle for Pen remains intense, with both drivers showcasing their skills. No change in position yet, as they head towards the finish line. Koki Benenati has made a significant move, overtaking 8 cars and advancing to P11. Crenshaw also gained momentum, moving up by 5 positions to claim P13. Meanwhile, Amundsen is showing impressive speed, overtaking 7 cars to secure 15. The dynamics in the midfield are intensifying as these drivers jockey for position. Dekadavi is now just 7.3 seconds behind Mr. Hendricks, showing impressive pace as he closes the gap. Meanwhile, Deplorably Apple and Huggard 3 are engaged in a tight battle for second place, with both cars exchanging positions frequently. The competition is heating up as they navigate through the turns. Captain Potato has made significant progress, now closing the gap to Solfash 21, with a reduction of 3.9 seconds. The positioning indicates a potential overtaking opportunity if Captain Potato maintains this pace. Solfash 21 will need to defend their position as the race continues. Deplorably, Bo is now just 2.3 seconds behind the leader, Feds, making significant progress in that last lap. Jasak 72 has also closed the gap to just Jazik, reducing their distance by 2.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Kazashuk in the Pagani Zonda R is locked in a tight battle for position 22 against Okayoki 3 in the Ferrari FX6K. The competition is heating up as they jostle for supremacy in the mid-pack. Kazashuk from Team S1 in the Pagani Zonda R is currently side by side with Okayoki 3 in the Ferrari FX6K as they approach the hairpin turn. Kazashuk has managed to gain a slight edge on the inside line, but Okayoki 3 is not backing down and is maintaining close proximity. As they exit the turn, Kazashuk pulls ahead slightly, but Okayoki 3 is using the slipstream to close in again on the back straight. It's a tight battle for P22, with both drivers showing skill in positioning and acceleration. The gap is fluctuating as they navigate through the next series of curves, with Kazashuk holding the lead for now, but Okayoki 3 is looking for an opportunity to overtake. Wuzirius Guy and Roadhop 29389 are closely matched as they navigate through the tight turns. Wuzirius Guy makes a move on the inside at turn 5, successfully overtaking Roadhop 29389 to claim pate. However, Roadhop 29389 is not giving up easily and is right on his tail, looking for a chance to retake the position as they approach the next straight. The race dynamics are heating up between these two competitors. Duff Dad has made an impressive move to claim 6, successfully overtaking Wuzirius Guy. In response, Wuzirius Guy has regained momentum and moved up to 7 by overtaking Roadhog 29389. Meanwhile, Roadhog 29389 has also managed to advance to pate by getting past N29K. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race progresses. Hey Dark William, welcome back to the racetrack. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride with these AI speedsters. Racing car dashing away. Deplorable has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Fence by 6.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 has successfully overtaken Lukambokum, now positioned in P19. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Cedric has successfully moved up to power, executing a clean overtake on used John 7. The maneuver appears well-timed, utilizing the slipstream effectively. Meanwhile, the top three remain unchanged, with no significant shifts in their positions. The race continues to develop as the drivers settle into their strategies. Gio Crenshaw has made significant progress, overtaking 6 cars and moving up to 6. Datsupa is also on the move, climbing 4 positions to reach P11. However, Duff Dad from Team Live for Speed is experiencing difficulties, dropping back 6 spots to P12. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers make their moves. Just Jazik has encountered some issues, dropping back 6 positions to P23. In contrast, Boris Oboris has successfully moved up to 17 after overtaking Sabina 27 from Team Bless. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has regained some ground, moving into P18 by overtaking Nukambukum. The race is tightening up as drivers jockey for position. Sabina 27 has gained a position, and is now in 17 after successfully overtaking Boris Oboris. Both drivers are engaged in a tight battle for that spot, with Sabina 27 piloting the Ferrari FXXK, and Boris Oboris in the Pagani Zonda R. The dynamics between these two cars are interesting, as the Ferrari appears to have the edge in acceleration, while the Pagani is known for its cornering capabilities. As they approach a series of turns, we'll see if Boris Oboris can make a counterattack, or if Sabina 27 can hold on to this hard-fought position. Duff is now just 2.3 seconds behind Datsupa, narrowing the gap significantly. The battle for P18 is heating up between Nukambukem in the Pagani Zonda R and Okayoki 3 from Team Racing Potatoes in the Ferrari. FXXK Mastondrix has gained ground, moving up to P2 after overtaking Boris Oboris. Amin-san and Sabina 27 are closely matched, with Amin-san in the Fittipaldi F7, holding a slight edge over Sabina 27 in the Ferrari FXXK as they jockey for position at 16. Meanwhile, Maya and Siriranbot have successfully advanced to P25 after overtaking Decade. The race is intensifying as these drivers fight for every position on the track. As we continue the race, SoFash 21 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Deckardave by 21.8 seconds. EU's John 7 has gained a position and is now in 4th place after successfully overtaking Cedric. Additionally, Roadhog 29389 has climbed to 7th place by getting past N29K8.L. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for position. Boris is rapidly closing the gap on Merstondrex, reducing the distance by 24.7 seconds. In the battle for 6th place, Uziriuskai and Roadhog 389 are engaged in a tight duel. Just Jazik has made a significant move, advancing to 20th position after overtaking Sabine 27. Uziriuskai has taken a defensive line as they approach the hairpin, holding off Roadhog 29389, who was looking for a way past. Meanwhile, N29PA in the Fittipaldi S7 has gained a slight edge over Datsupa in the BMW 134 Judfate, maintaining position in P8. Datsupa is closely tailing N29PA, applying pressure and looking for an opportunity to overtake. The battle for 6 between Uziriuskai and Roadhog 389 remains intense, with both drivers exchanging near misses as they navigate through the corners. Uziriuskai and Roadhog 389 are locked in a tight battle for 6, with both cars exchanging positions frequently as they navigate the track. Meanwhile, Ukrainshaw is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Jacek 72 by 2.1 seconds, indicating a potential overtake in the near future, if this pace continues. Datsupa in the BMW 134 Judfate is currently holding off Duffdad in the Fittipaldi F7 as they enter the first sector. Datsupa has managed to maintain a slight lead, but Duffdad is applying pressure, looking for an opportunity to overtake. They approach the hairpin turn. Duffdad is closing the gap. Datsupa takes a defensive line, blocking any chance of an inside move. Exiting the turn, Duffdad tries to capitalize on the acceleration, but Datsupa holds steady. The battle for P9 continues with both cars neck and neck down the straight. Just Jacek has made a significant move, advancing 4 positions to secure 16. Aminsan successfully overtakes Perpetuum, climbing to 14. In response, Perpetuum regains ground and overtakes Just Jazik, now holding 15. The dynamics in the midfield are shifting rapidly with these changes. The battle for 6th place is heating up as Serious Guy from Team No Name Racing is currently locked in a fierce contest with Roadhog 29,389. Both drivers are showing impressive skill, with overtakes being attempted frequently. Meanwhile, in the fight for 22nd, Kazashok in the Pagani Zonda R is closely pursuing Mustondrex, who is behind the wheel of the McLaren Pontiac TR. The two are exchanging positions, showcasing their vehicle's capabilities as they navigate the track. Duff Dad and Koki Binanity are closely matched as they fight for pen, with Koki Binanity making a daring move on the inside at the hairpin, but Duff Dad holds his line and maintains position. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 and Okayoki 3 from Team Racing Potatoes are engaged in a tight tussle for pay team, with Sabine 27 attempting an overtake on the straight but unable to complete it, as Okayoki 3 defends well. The race remains dynamic as both battles intensify. Dalsapa continues to hold the position in ninth, maintaining a narrow lead over Duff Dad in the Fittipaldi F7. Duff Dad is pressing hard, looking for an opportunity to overtake as they approach the tight corner. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity is right on the tail of Duff Dad, indicating a three-way battle for both 9th and 10th positions. The tension is building, and it will be interesting to see if Duff Dad can make a move to secure his place, or if Koki Beninity will capitalize on any mistake made by either driver. The dynamics are shifting as they exit the corner, with Datsupa still holding firm. Godfrey has successfully moved into P2 after a clean overtake on Deplorable Apple. The maneuver was executed on the inside line, allowing Godfrey to gain crucial ground. Deplorable Apple now sits in P3 while the leader remains just ahead. The race dynamics continue to shift as positions become more competitive. Cedric has successfully moved into P4, executing a clean overtake on used John 7. The maneuver was smooth and strategic, showcasing Cedric's strong positioning and timing. Used John 7 now trails in 5 as the race continues to unfold with tight competition. Roadhog 29. 389 has successfully moved into 5 after a clean overtake on Datsupa Dachu. Datsupa now sits in 6, having just passed Wazirius Guy. There's an ongoing battle for 6 between Datsupa and Wazirius Guy from Team No Name Racing. Datsupa is piloting a BMW 134 Judd Veit, while Wazirius Guy is in a Fittipaldi F7. The tension is building as they jostle for position. Jazak72 has made a significant move, climbing to P12 after successfully overtaking 4 cars, including Duffdad. Meanwhile, Sabina27 is also gaining ground, advancing to 16 by overtaking Amundsen. The competitive dynamics are intensifying as positions shuffle in the midfield. Welcome back, Astro Sniper. Rocket ready to snipe those race car stats? Let's see if you've still got that sharp eye for speed. Racing car dashing away. Datsupa has just edged ahead of Roadhog 29 389, pulling off a clean overtake to secure 5 in the BMW 134 Judd Veit. Meanwhile, Nukenbokum and Mimur Stondrix are locked in a tight contest for P19. Nukenbokum is holding his position in the Pagani Zonda R, but Mistondrix is closing in with the McLaren Pone DTR. The gap is narrowing as they approach the next turn. Hey Ira Fail. Welcome back to the racetrack. Party Popper, hope you're ready for some AI action and speedy shenanigans. Let's buckle up. Automobile dashing away.